Are you ready?
Our first of two championships, the middleweight division. Shamrock and Jackson now underway.
And he felt Shamrock lacked stand-up fighting skills, but the alliance with Maury Smith.
Let's go right down, right down. Bring him.
Devastating indeed.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Tristar Gym channel. Today we're looking at how to armbar a wrestler in this arm collector video. It's very important. As soon as you get taken down, you gotta flow right into armbar. Okay, but that's easier said than done. Let's look at the details that will allow you to flow right away into armbar. Okay, number one, he's going for a guillotine here, but his left leg's caught in the half guard, so he's not gonna go for guillotine. He's gonna transition right into full guard. Okay, as he's landing, he was already attacking. That's a very important instinct. And now let's look at what Frank Shamrock does here. Look at the curve in his back. This is supremely important when you're looking for subs. Okay, look at this curve in his back. There's very little surface area touching the ground. This is super important. The wrestler on top, once he takes you down, he wants to stabilize you. Okay, so Frank, by putting himself in a curled up ball here, if Kevin Jackson were to drive forward, which he does later, it would allow Frank to pivot on this surface right here. It will allow him to pivot and go for armbar. Okay, and if Kevin Jackson were to base out or back up out of the armbar, this would allow Frank's head to come up. Okay, so the seesaw will go this direction, and then Frank would probably stand up, which he doesn't want him to do. Or if for a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you'd want to float to butterfly guard or some type of open guard. Okay, so obviously Kevin Jackson wants to smother the guard. Okay, so let's see what he does here. He starts to drive forward. Now, as he drives forward, exactly what we said here. Look at this pivoting action right here. Look at this seesaw action. Now, one very important thing you got to know is that Frank's abs are working overtime here. His abs are tight, very, very strong abs here. Okay, he's pulling his abs, he's pulling his hips in, his head up. His abs are working overtime. Now, a lot of you out there might not be working your abs, but this is something I'm going to recommend. Okay, look at this seesaw action here. Over and over again. Look at this seesaw action. This is the secret to the armbar. Once you get this powerful ab action, you're going to be able to pivot into armbar. We all know how to pivot to armbar, but a lot of you, when you pivot, your entire back is touching the mat. See here, Frank's back, it's a very small point that's touching the back. If his hips were on the ground here, and his shoulders were on the ground, and he'd have all this surface area, for him to rotate, okay, there would be a lot more friction. A lot more energy. He'd be a lot slower, and also Kevin Jackson would have a nice surface to lay on, drop his weight on, okay, so he wouldn't be off balance. I'm gonna let a few of these play out. You're gonna get a couple of different angles, and you're gonna notice the seesaw action. So here's a different angle with the camera. Look at this seesaw action right here. Look at this. Really tight abs here. Lifting his hips off the ground. When you want to do an armbar, you have to lift your hips off the ground. So for you experts out there, you probably already know this, but for you guys who are beginner, I'm going to give you a really good ab exercise, and for advanced guys, I still do this exercise myself, to create this rocking motion. So if you have a good rocking motion here, your armbar is going to be far more likely. Now, if you have a big gut and your gut's in the way, you won't be able to pivot. Okay, so a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, you got to have a trim belly. Okay, you got to have a good slim belly, and you got to have strong abs that can allow you to lift your hips off the mat and curl yourself up into a armbar here. See those hips come up off the ground. Very little of Frank Shamrock's back. And this is the same for barambolos, inverted guards. You got to be able to tighten your abs and curve your belly. Okay, so here's the gainer position. This is what we do in gymnastics. Me and George, we do a lot of gymnastics, a lot of you know. And the most important thing when you do the gainer position, you can just take the position I'm in right now. And the most important thing is the lower back always touches the mat. So you're pressing your lower back into the mat. This is crucial, supremely crucial, okay? If you don't curve your back, if you don't flatten your back, you won't be in a proper gainer position, and you'll be hurting your back over time. Okay, over time you're going to be hurting your back, and you're going to have a bad lower back. Now, another important thing to mention: I never do crunches. I don't do any traditional. See that? I'm showing you that the gap between my lower back and the ground is completely blocked. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what it would look like if you didn't block your lower spine. See, you're trying to rock back and forth. Imagine trying to do an armbar like this. I always tell my students, like, you have a flat tire. Drive your car around with a flat tire, and if you have a weak abs, it's like trying to do arm bars with a flat tire. You know, you just imagine me trying to pivot off my back and do an arm bar. Okay, there is a nice rock hard abdomen, and that's going to allow me to flow from the armbar position to spin and go to the armbar position. Here's the jackknife variation. make sure to try that. I don't use traditional crunches and all that. I don't believe that I have to sit up in a fight 1,000 times. I need to sit up a few times in a fight, and I need my gut to be rock hard, rock solid. Okay, so here's Frank Shamrock doing it one last time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That, in my opinion, is the most important abdominal exercise for jiu-jitsu practitioners. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and share, and see you in the next episode.